Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Make It Happen, the area's foremost high school sports show, a program dedicated to Central and South Jersey high school sports. Tonight we have two very special guests, Bill Similek and his son Dave. Guys, how we doing?
Tim.
Now also, tonight we're going to be starting to YouTube our program, so our media director, Luke Wallace, who was on our guest speaker last week. Luke, how you doing? All right. What are you thinking? About a day or two we'll be able to get this thing up and running?
Yeah, about a day or two.
Okay. You can check us out on YouTube. I also want to remind you that today's show is being sponsored by Evergreen Lawn Service. Evergreen Lawn Service has been in business for 28 years. It's run by Jeff Howe. You can contact Jeff at 609-267-5655 or 856-235-7146. Remember, Evergreen Lawn Service for all your mulching needs, bushes being trimmed, and all your landscaping events. Also, remember that you can call in. Feel free to call in at any time during our show at 609-447-0236. That's 609-447-0236. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions tonight for Dave. You know, going to give you a little bit of background about Dave and his dad, Bill. Dave played his high school soccer at Germantown Friends. He was a member of the youth national team at Germantown.
Academy.
Played club soccer at for FC Delco, and you won a national championship there, right?
Yes, we did.
All right. Scholarship athlete at University of Akron, the Zippers. Were you there when Jerry Faust was there, or was that way before that?
That was we were after him.
After him?
Yes.
And then you transferred to, I think they call that a school down there, University of Louisville.
Somewhere in Kentucky.
Is that being a University of Kentucky grad, Aaron, we, University of Louisville, that's horse country. That's horse country down there. Now, we're horse country too, but we'll just leave it at that. And Bill, you got, you're a phys ed and health teacher. You coached basketball and baseball. You referee for basketball and softball.
Yes.
And again, you're following soccer all the way throughout.
Yes. Yep.
So let me ask you this question, Bill. How does Dave wind up such a high-profile soccer player?
Basically, being with a high-profile club helps, like FC Delco. But then you also have to show it. You have to play. You have to show the skills, which David did, and that's how you get on the national screen.
Now, Dave, baseball.
How did I wind up in soccer?
How'd you wind up in soccer? I mean, your dad's a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy.
I don't know.
How'd you wind up in soccer?
My older brother actually played.
Okay.
I have an older brother who's 28, and he was a goalkeeper as well. And then I would watch him, go to his games when I was young and watch him play, and that's how I wound up getting into it.
All right. Let's talk about your soccer development. Watching your older brother play, it kind of got you into the youth programs. Bill, did you begin helping him coach, or were you on the sidelines at that time, or
sideline all the way? Because I never played soccer, so I was learning as we went along.
As far as getting back to the youth, you just were you always a goalkeeper?
No, when I was young, I started out playing both. We played in two different leagues, so I played one league in the field and then another league in goal.
And in college, and you worked, you were a goalkeeper all the way through.
Yes, yeah. As soon as I turned maybe 14.
What would you say is the biggest transition or the most difficult transition going from your high school game to your club game to the college game?
I think at each level, the speed of play just gets quicker, and also the kids are physically larger and. It's just a faster game as you move up the ladder in the competition.
Now, in terms of athletes, again, you're going from Akron, and you said, national champions and stuff. Your team, you had to have players come from all over the country.
All over the place. I think there.
I mean, Ohio's not a hotbed for soccer, so you really had to draw.
I think there were maybe 5 or 6 kids from the Ohio area. But
Okay.
then if there were kids from everywhere. We had a couple kids from Norway. There were a couple kids from like Arizona. It's been so long I have to remember. I think there were two from England, one from New Zealand. I think that's it. I can't remember exactly where.
And then as you transferred to Louisville, again, I'm not going to say it was a bigger program. Like, you can't say that because you're in the national championships, but I'm going to say the school itself's name and just notoriety,
yeah, for sure,
was a
we're
much
playing in the Big East and
playing.
everything's
Plus, you're
different.
playing in the Big East, and I would have. And again, I'm just making an assumption here, but I would assume that playing in the Big East, the competition.
That was
Now,
one of the
Akron was in
reasons I
what, the
chose-
MAC?
Yes,
was
the
that
MAC, which
the
is-
Mid-Atlantic Conference?
Yeah.
So playing in the Big East, obviously the level of competition
It was one of the main reasons I
overall.
transferred. For sure.
Overall, I mean, how was the support system, playing at a University of Louisville in soccer? I mean, soccer down south is not, well, it is now. I mean, North Carolina and stuff.
Louisville
It's becoming, but Louisville's not an area. I mean, it's
Mhm.
Kentucky.
A good
Kentucky is a basketball
Yeah.
state.
Yep, basketball,
It's a
football,
basketball frame of mind, and you have successful football programs from time to time. But basketball is king.
Is king.
Baseball again, it's just because of a national. Now all of a sudden you're bringing in soccer. What was the in terms of the support from the
following.
university and the following?
Yeah, the good thing about Louisville is there's no professional sport teams. So everything is focused on the college sports, college athletics. Soccer was pretty big. It's huge now. They actually drew 10,000 fans on Saturday for their last game.
But at what point in time did you, as a parent, sit back and say, "Hey, we have a talent here"?
At a very young age, because being a physical educator, I kind of have a unique, I think, view and background to be able to identify kids that are, physically fit, physically, skilled. And again, I'm trying to be humble here, but David showed very early in all sports, basketball, baseball, and soccer, a lot of skill. And also was one of those kids that I watch in my classes, not afraid to put his nose in.
What separates a goal keep from the rest of the field?
Like I said, I think you got to be a little crazy almost, in a good way. I mean,
You'd
you
be
just
crazy
really
in all
can't.
way, yeah.
I mean, you just really can't be afraid of anything because you just have to put your body on the line a lot of times.
What about, one of the things they talked about in the Women's World Cup is looking for that just one thing, in the shooter. And is that something that do you read eyes? I mean, you look them in the eye and
Most of the time, I would try to watch them as they walked up to the ball because they would usually place it themselves. And when they would put the ball down, I would try to see where they looked the first time. So if they looked to the left, I would figure they're going to go there because they would look to the left and then they would look to the right real quick or stare at the right. So I would figure they're going to, if they're looking at the left first, they're probably going to shoot there and then they're trying to throw you off by looking at the other way.
Dave, I really want to thank you for being on our show. You gave us an enormous amount of information. It was great talking to you. And, we'd love to have you back on.
Thanks a lot. It was awesome.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for tonight. Remember, Wi-Fi 1460 AM. This is Make It Happen. I'm Tim Costello, your host. Now, looking forward to see you next Monday, Labor Day weekend at the same time, 7 to 8. I also want to say a quick hello to my good friend Denny Villela, baseball coach out there at Missouri Southern. Denny called yesterday to make sure I was okay. Denny, good hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody, and see you next week.